All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Dark
Season 2, Episode 5. Adam is Jonas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
right.
where we're at right now.
Yeah.
We are in the cult of Sigmundus Cretus Est.
Mm-hmm.
We are learning answers.
Yep.
Probably this episode.
Maybe.
Maybe we give Jonas a break for a little bit and go back to the groups,
right
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. Yeah. But we had a couple things that have developed as far as character motivations go.
Yep.
Noah did deliver Jonas to Adam.
He did.
But he also is not necessarily in alignment with Adam anymore. So that's something there.
That is interesting.
We have a lot of characters in 2019 all being like close to or just aware of time travel now, or that there's shenanigans afoot that doesn't make sense with regards to time.
We've got the Goonies squad and we've got the adult squad.
Right.
So both of them can do their own different things. And we have this investigator who continues to be a delight. I want him to continue sniffing out the secrets of this town.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Claudia's like yoinking about in 2019 as well.
Just being a
nearly getting hit by cars and
high-functioning time traveler. But,
almost getting hit still by a car.
It's baby steps.
Baby steps, yeah, exactly. But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Oh.
Oh, we're really leaning into that burn marks on his back. And whoa, wait a minute.
So is he still dreaming it?
No, this is older Jonas.
Yeah.
Wait. What the hell?
Yeah, bad trip.
This is a bad trip. Bad trip, man. Bad trip.
Oh. Well, that's rough. Decades later, and you're still having that more or less the same dream. Oh, sorry, I sleep with my eyes open sometimes.
Die größte Abneigung ausgerechnet den Menschen entgegenbringt, die einem am ähnlichsten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Ich will wissen, wie ich wieder nach Hause komme.
Well, you can't yet.
Zieh dich an.
Appears we have work to do.
Yeah.
Nice. He made sure all of that was recovered and taken.
Yeah.
Because he knew where it would be,
Right.
Yeah. Fun. 2 days, yep.
Okay.
Sup, bitch.
He's
No
like,
goodbyes.
it's time for me to leave.
Soll ich was erzählen? Es klingt total verrückt, aber ich muss wissen, was ihr darüber denkt.
Ja.
Ja.
Guck dich doch mal um. Wir sind hier die Kinder, aber du benimmst dich seit Monaten wie eins. Mann, fuck, Mama, du tust so, als wärst du alleine mit der Scheiße.
I'm trying to bring you in on it. Damn.
That close.
Yeah.
That close.
Jemanden beim LKA, der diesen Klausen kennt. Was will der wirklich hier?
Yeah. Cool getting into his origins.
Er war die ganze Nacht nicht da.
Vielleicht ist er bei Martha.
Die sind nicht mehr zusammen.
Die haben sich sicher versöhnt. Hast du angerufen?
Da geht niemand ran.
Yeah, that is worrying.
Sag, dass alles gut wird.
Oh.
Alles wird gut.
Okay.
Tell me you're certain about the future.
Right.
I'm certain about the future. Hi. He's probably been planning his escape for like...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like hyper aware. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh. Because he didn't tell anybody else about his cancer, potentially, or?
Maybe. Or the cancer isn't what killed him.
Maybe.
Verstehen Sie? Aber
We will never lose to the French. Why would we? Why?
So,
Let's
talk.
God, there's so much that we could get from this, even based on what they don't say.
Right.
Das erste endet mit dem Verlust der Naivität, das zweite mit dem Verlust der Unschuld und das dritte mit dem Verlust des Lebens selbst.
I'm following.
Es ist unausweichlich, dass wir alle 3 Stufen durchschreiten.
Go beyond death. Wow.
Wir haben das Jahr 1921. Streng genommen hast du noch 99 Jahre.
Wow.
Ja.
Ich nenne das visionär. Habe ich auf VHS, die ganze Rede.
Okay.
Okay.
Move slowly, confidently, and casually. Keep walking slowly. Damn.
Yeah, it's the 80s. Easy.
nur kurz sehen, wie es dir geht.
Schon gut.
Cool. And it's a day from him dying.
Claudia. Du weißt schon, dass ich stolz bin.
Oh.
Und deine Mutter wäre das auch.
Oh, this is the season of goodbyes. We're just...
Warum ich eigentlich gekommen bin. Ich möchte, dass du zu uns ziehst.
Oh.
Am besten morgen schon.
Morgen?
Why such a rush?
Denk einfach drüber nach. In Ordnung?
Oh, he's smiling like...
Yeah.
Like, we barely get any time with these characters.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You think about it, like, there's so many that... Like, Egon was kind of an antagonist for a small period of time, and I'm already, like,
Oh, yeah.
sad to see him go.
Zeitmaschine.
Yeah.
Und weißt du, wie die funktioniert?
Selbst wenn, es würde nichts bringen. Er hat sie mitgenommen.
Yeah, you go to Charlotte and Peter now.
Er war immer da.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Direkt vor mir.
So close yet so far apart.
Ich kann einfach nicht fassen, dass du mit meinem Mann und mit meinem Sohn geschlafen hast. Aber du wolltest ja schon immer alles haben, was mir gehört. Du bist wie ein Parasit. Hat dir Ulrich eigentlich jemals gesagt, dass er dich liebt?
No, he didn't.
Wird er sich immer für uns entscheiden.
Good.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
very glad.
so glad. Oh my
That gun
god.
is right there. Oh.
Oh, es tut mir leid, ich muss die Mut vergessen haben.
Man sollte meinen, dass man so etwas nicht vergisst, wenn das eigene Kind von...
Yeah.
Frau Nielsen,
Why are you
sie
here?
hätte ich von allen Menschen als letztes hier erwartet.
Yeah, literally the last person.
Yep.
Wissen Sie, wer das ist?
Nein, weiß ich nicht.
Everyone's keeping secrets from me. Just trying to find out what's going on.
Fun. Another conversation with the gun in between
Yeah.
people. Teasing us.
Kennen Sie diese Person?
Nein.
He's like, why are you people all lying to me? It's
I'm
so
trying
obvious.
to help.
Yeah.
Your children are gone, and I'm trying to help you get them back.
Wow. Just passing ships right now. This is wild.
Uh-huh.
Kids just left. Katharina just left. It's like this guy knows what he's doing.
Es muss einen Weg geben, das alles zu ändern. Dass die Dinge anders passieren.
Ein Schlupfloch.
Right.
Ich habe 66 Jahre gebraucht, Mel.
Okay.
Jeder versucht, etwas zu verbergen. Obwohl ich nicht sicher bin, ob alle das Gleiche verbergen.
Right.
Wir unterstützen uns. Mein Sohn ist verschwunden. Alexander hilft mir mit dem Geld. Das ist alles.
She's a good liar.
Doch nichts über eine gute Nachbarschaft.
The crease.
Yeah.
Auch Frau Nielsen das gleiche Verständnis teilt. Naja, vielleicht ist das
Yeah.
He's so good.
nicht nur die Geheimnisse, sondern auch Geld und Bett.
Right. Oh.
All right.
Someone was watching them. Don't get separated. Stay together. Stay together.
I'm worried.
Fun.
Oh my god.
Fun.
Sie hat ihn benutzt. Genauso wie sie mich benutzt hat, Peter und die anderen.
Okay.
Sie hat ihn das hier bauen lassen.
God, the amount of time that two active devices could be in the same time, is that like potentially the ticket, you know? Like actually two working ones, like, or
Using them in the same place to... Yeah, they have an appointment.
you thought about talking now? You need some water, don't you?
Willst du noch eine Nacht hier bleiben? Mann, Patrick, guck uns doch mal an, was machen wir hier?
Yeah. Right.
Warum sagst du uns nicht, was...
They've got the good cop, bad cop thing down.
Wenn ich euch das sagen würde, ihr glaubt mir eh nicht.
No, we'll
Warum
believe
nicht?
you.
Der menschliche Körper ist in der Lage, 3 Tage
Right,
ohne
yeah.
Flüssigkeitsaufnahme auszukommen.
Damn, Francisca is like hard.
Cold, yeah.
Soll ich sie drin verrecken lassen, oder was? Das kannst du nicht machen. What?
Oh man, that would fuck him up so bad.
Zeitmaschine.
Oh. Let's do this.
Okay.
Mich verarschen. Ich hab doch gleich gesagt, ich komme nicht. Kommt. Wir gehen.
No.
Keep talking.
Dann zeig uns, wie es funktioniert.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We're doing this.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Ein Signal suchen. Das ist alles.
He's gonna be like, stand back. Like,
Yeah. What if Elizabeth gets cold feet and, like, backs away? Yeah, and then doesn't end up getting taken with them?
uh-huh.
They're like, oh shit, wait.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, she's gonna back up.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Everybody's going.
Wie gesagt, das war das Ergebnis einer Reaktion im Volumenkontrollsystem.
Yeah, okay.
Was ist da wirklich passiert?
Damn.
Ich habe gewusst, dass du es nicht ruhen lassen kannst.
Fun.
Das ist völlig unmöglich.
Das habe ich am Anfang auch gedacht. Also habe ich die Tests wiederholen lassen. Es waren die gleichen Ergebnisse.
Wenn diese Daten stimmen, dann ist es das, was ich denke, was es ist?
Möglich. Es entspricht in vielen Teilen den Berechnungen von Englert, Prout und Higgs aus 64.
Wow, fun. Higgs boson, yeah. Okay.
Gottes Teilchen.
Das Teilchen, das allen Dingen ihre Masse verleiht.
Wow. Oh. Oh.
Kann ich Ihnen helfen?
Oh. That was cool to make him like a year older, you know, like
Right.
so that we're not like
Yeah, he's
in,
already
exactly
like
the same.
gotten established in this
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
time. shit.
She's stealing stuff for
so he can actually sleep.
Mikkel, yeah. Clever.
Uns ist das Jod wieder alle. Hast du schon gehört? Hm? Aus der Klapse ist einer abgehauen.
Oh.
Kinder in den 50ern umgebracht und eins hat totgeschlagen haben. Ist jetzt zwar selber schon fast tot, aber die sagen, man soll trotzdem aufpassen.
Oh, I need to go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, he knows this can't, this can't last. He can't.
But he also spent 33 years in in an asylum, so he might not be grounded right now.
Oh, no, of course not.
Sie kommen mir irgendwie bekannt vor.
Oh.
Über 33 Jahre auf diesen Moment gewartet.
Wow. Oh, you're gonna take the 2 cups and be like, put them next to each other.
Erinnerst du dich?
Oh, he knows.
Papa.
Oh.
Das, was die Menschen seit Jahrtausenden anbeten, den Gott, der alles zusammenhält, dass dieser Gott nichts anderes ist als die Zeit selbst. Kein denkendes, handelndes Geschöpf.
Just a law that can be broken.
So wenig verhandeln lässt wie mit dem eigenen Schicksal. Gott ist Zeit. Und die Zeit ist nicht barmherzig.
No, it is not.
Schicksal, nichts als eine Verkettung von Ursache und Wirkung. Im Licht und im Schatten.
Okay, understood. Okay. Yeah, now that you've seen that, you go back to look at this, draw the connections, you're like, yep, this is it.
Oh, bro!
Bro!
No!
Bro!
No!
Bro!
Charlotte.
I was right. Come on.
Was wollen Sie von mir?
Obviously not to kill you, because I would just do it.
Bin Noah.
Ich weiß, wer Sie sind.
Oh, he's kind of surprised by that.
Sie haben die Kinder getötet.
Ich kann nicht mehr ändern, was du über mich denkst.
Wow.
Wirst du eines Tages verstehen, dass ich das alles nur getan habe, damit es irgendwann nicht mehr geschieht. Damit du mir nicht wiedergenommen wirst.
Whoa.
Take
Yes!
me.
Yes!
Oh
my God!
Als du geboren wurdest, haben sie dir keine großen Chancen gegeben.
Oh.
Du bist zu früh gekommen, warst winzig. Deine Mutter hat das Foto gemacht. Ich habe ihr versprochen, dich zurückzubringen.
Oh.
Ich habe dich all die Jahre gesucht.
Yeah, because she was in the wrong time.
Warst du die ganze Zeit da?
Yeah.
Adam wusste, dass du es bist.
Oh, and
Wow.
he kept it from me.
Yeah.
Gewusst.
Oh.
Er macht sich bereit für das, was danach kommt. Ich habe die letzten Seiten gelesen. Das AKW. Jonas. Es wird alles wieder passieren. Die Apokalypse.
Oh. Again, yeah.
Ich muss Adam vernichten, damit alle leben. Nicht nur die im Bunker.
Not just those in the bunker. Oh my God.
Sie hat dich sehr geliebt. Das tut sie noch immer.
Don't leave it at that. You can't leave it at that.
I think he's like, I've already done enough damage, and I don't want to hurt you anymore.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Now let's cut back to Ulrich. Oh my god.
When are we? Okay. Well, it's not the 20s. That's good.
Großblaue Augen?
Kennst du?
Ich nicht. Aber Elisabeth.
Okay, was ist hier los?
Cool, cool.
Meine Oma damit was zu tun hat, dass Jonas zurückkommt und
Jonas? Jonas kommt zurück.
Oh.
Ja, er ist Teil dieses Krieges. Ich gehe jetzt nach Hause.
Wait.
Stay together. No. Stay together, yeah.
Oh my god. Follow them, Bartosz. Go with them. Go with them. Go with them. They don't know.
So this is either the 50s
they don't
or
believe
the 80s.
Michael?
Oh. Yeah.
Michael?
Ah!
Oh man.
Mann aus der Psychiatrie, der ausgebrochen ist.
Welcher Mann aus der Psychiatrie?
Das war wohl heute überall im Radio. Erinnerst du dich an die Kinder auf der Baustelle 1953? Dieser Mann, der ist ausgebrochen.
Ich rufe sofort auf der Wache an.
Oh, does Ulrich kill Egon?
Maybe.
Hol dich dann ab.
Oh yeah, because then Egon knows where to go.
Oh shit! Oh, this is intense!
Okay. I think they're gonna make it. Oh. Fuck.
Oh my gosh!
Michael, unser Vater, ist nur ein kleiner Teil eines Knotens, der unendlich viel größer und verworrener ist.
Oh yeah, we started to clue into that.
Das ganze Universum ist nichts als ein gigantischer Knoten, aus dem es kein Entrinnen.
There's the cage, there's the trap, yeah.
Die alles auf ewig in diesem Knoten befindet. Wenn sich nichts verändern lässt. Dann hast du dieses Gespräch bereits geführt?
Und genau diese Frage gestellt.
Wild.
Jetzt, 66 Jahre später, verstehe ich es. Es gibt Momente, die verändern uns für immer.
Some moments.
What's the moment?
Plural, Jacob.
Schmerz vergisst man nicht.
Yeah, like your dad.
Well,
aber es gibt einen Weg.
Yeah, but...
der aus all dieser grausamen Sinnlosigkeit hinausführt.
Aber wenn das stimmt, wenn es einen Weg gibt, warum passiert dann alles so, wie es immer passiert ist? Warum habt ihr nichts verändert?
Right.
Es kommt das Rad, dann das Automobil.
Yeah,
ich zu sein,
sure.
ohne vorher du gewesen zu sein, ist unmöglich. Du hast die Passage gesehen, den Bunker, den Stuhl, den Apparat, das Ding in der Zukunft.
These are all iterations.
Das Ende der Kette.
Right. Oh.
It's just the next link.
It's just another link.
Right, because, yeah.
We are not there yet. This is going to happen again.
Hier für mich untersuchen. Und kein Wort. Zu niemandem.
Oh.
Wenn es das ist, was ich denke, dann wird es unser Verständnis von der Welt grundlegend verändern.
The way they were like making a point to show that this guy's married. Like, are we supposed to potentially know who that is?
I think it's new character. Or at least not important right now.
A lot of things have happened here. Perfect. Yeah. See some general news stuff up here. Yeah. Yep, we're in the 80s. The police cars, yep.
Oh my god, and they literally have Ulrich right now.
Oh my god, he's gonna see them.
Halt!
Halt, stopp, anhalten! Das sind meine Kinder! Magnus! Martha!
Oh my God.
Time is cruel! Time is
holy
merciless! Yeah, we're just in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. It's such like psycho behavior to hold the picture with the crease on.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could cut it off.
Right, but she's been like slowly like folding it over.
Yeah,
years.
but you want to see the action of folding it. Oh my gosh.
Hat dir das hier jemals was bedeutet? Hast du Papa überhaupt geliebt?
Damn.
Eine Affäre mit Ulrich hattest. Wenn du heute wählen könntest zwischen Papa und Ulrich.
Which would you bring back?
Oh, her eyes.
Diesem Mist habe ich gedacht, du bist die einzige Person, der ich vertrauen kann.
Wow. Loss of innocence.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the journey up to here. It was the realization of who your mother actually is.
Jonas.
Du brauchst niemanden. Du brauchst nur dich selbst.
I mean, in a lot of ways, like I saw some Adam in there. Like that
Oh
was
yeah.
That was
absolutely.
That was I don't need you either. Like,
yeah.
Fuck. Oh my god. Everyone's so just alone. Don't call this dark. Call this grimdark.
Yeah.
And here's the pendant. Whoa. This is just a massive time machine.
No way.
Es ist nicht dasselbe wie das in der Zukunft. Es ist sozusagen sein Zwilling.
Wow.
Oh.
Die Weiterführung einer technischen Evolution. Und es wird das Ende dieses Knotens.
Wow.
Durchbricht den 33 Jahre Zyklus.
Deswegen bin ich hier. Das willst du von mir. Es gibt eine Möglichkeit, das alles zu stoppen, wenn ich den Anfang stoppe.
Die gibt es. Die Frage ist nur, wann ist der Anfang?
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Du ihn davon abhalten kannst, sich das Leben zu nehmen. Dann wird alles, was folgt, nicht passieren.
But that's still.
Wird nicht zurückreisen. Du. Ich.
Will not exist.
Wir werden nicht geboren. Aber alle anderen werden leben.
He's lying. He has to be manipulating him. He has to be manipulating him. He has to be.
I mean, he definitely is, but I think he does believe it.
Right, but it's not about what's going to happen here. It's about the way this is going to set things into motion. Because there's no way. There's no way.
Oh my God.
Wenn du das schaffst, sortieren wir die Welt neu.
This is the midpoint of season 2.
This is
the midpoint
the
of the mid-season. Of the middle season. But what if the thing is that the whole rest of the show is just going over from the beginning and things going differently?
This too is the will of Steins Gate.
Wild.
Oh my god, y'all.
All right.
That's episode 5.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Uh-huh.
War has been declared on time. We now understand directly, in a lot of ways, where Adam's motivation comes from. He has gone through the gamut of living the life of Jonas, which makes sense. The most storied of time travelers, most likely.
Yep.
And he has learned a loophole.
Right.
Which, do you believe him?
Yes.
I believe him too,
So-
but I don't think he's being honest with Jonas.
So I think he is. So, okay. There's a few layers to this that I think really tie things together quite nicely. It does make me very surprised that this is happening at the midpoint of the show. One, the whole idea of agency does exist, right? Because just because a loop is happening doesn't mean it's set to stay on that stuck loop, right?
Right.
And so and so then the whole idea of, oh, what's the beginning? When do we go back and change? Cool, awesome. And the idea that yes, he does in fact have access to time travel that can go back regardless of the 33-year thing. And so then future Jonas not being, almost 50, oh, hey, there you go. But then you have we're going to change all of this stuff. And so it doesn't matter what heinous things we do because in the end, we're going to undo it all anyway. And we get the villainous virtue of him being like, yes, I understand that I shouldn't exist either. I'm doing this for all of you. And so there we go. And that's how you can also get like having the arrogance, if you will, to call himself Adam and all that, right? Where it all kind of started with me effectively, and so I'm removing myself from the picture, and that'll fix everything.
Right, and that's the thing, is that it most likely did. It most likely did. But he doesn't actually know how it did, because he's not a part of the universe where things started.
Right, and so the idea that basically what you end up having is because of different people learning things at different times and all that stuff and doing everything they can, it ends up basically tangling up the knot even more.
Yeah, they've been losing the war against time because they didn't know that they were fighting a war the second they tapped into time travel.
Exactly.
So then things started going wrong. Now, while he's probably more of calling himself Adam, in my opinion, also... or just more so because he's thinking about how he's creating a new world.
Sure. Yes, and also it being something that he can use as a moniker and get people to follow him and all of those things, all the stuff that happens in these 66 years since, he had this conversation with his future self, right?
Right.
So cool. Also, I got to say, I love the idea that it's we absolutely use the whole bootstrap paradox thing since we're already in a closed loop to then pass technology and information to ourselves.
Yeah, we've accelerated
iterate
things to then having, many different stages
Right.
of the time machine.
So we effectively have what feels like the AI singularity type thing.
Right.
But with time travel, but because it is for the most part limited to the 33-year increments, it basically is happening very slowly, right?
Yes.
And so that's where we can actually have this point in time where, all the things that have happened and all that stuff are happening here. So
everything is now.
Everything is now.
Everything is now.
Yeah. And so now it's I'm sending you to do the thing so that way you can stop this all from happening. And I think the motivation's totally tied together, given that he is Jonas. Even if he becomes bitter as a result of all the stuff he's lived through, those motivations are still going to be there, right? It's just the cost to get there.
Right. So the part that is crazy about this is that this time machine in the 20s says fuck you to the rules of 33 years.
Right.
Basically, we've beaten that limitation. Because he's going to go to the point before Michael, hangs himself and try to stop it.
Right. And the reason why, as far as how they develop that, and it's with the whole iterating on technology, all that stuff. And then as far as why it's here, because that would make it a lot harder to produce just because of what is generally technologically available, right? I think it's just because that way other people won't have access to it, and it makes for a cleaner time knot.
Maybe. So
Because like this whole show doesn't work if you have the ability to time travel to whenever. And so certainly if you're within the universe trying to clean things up, you're like, nope, that we cannot let people be able to just go to whatever day.
Right. So let's say that this machine, this portal, this spot will do it here.
Right.
Is the reason then why Noah can regularly meet up here in the 20s and then just hop wherever he needs to go is that he's not actually using a time machine and he's using this one, and just because it's always under the supervision of
that Adam's the one that basically
is guiding the day.
Sure. And so the fact that
he's basically so mad at Adam is because Adam could allow him to go to specific points, and he didn't give him the info or the reason. He's been basically making him only go to the places and points in time that he wants him to.
Right. I'm guessing that's the case. And now the thing about that feels a bit weird, though, is that you would think that part of the zealotry would be the idea that, hey, you're going to do some terrible things, and that's okay. And some of those terrible things might be to people that you even know or care about.
Right. Yeah.
But that's okay because we're going to smooth everything out anyways, right? And so Noah feeling betrayed by Adam, of course it would be because of deception that he then gets revealed to him and all that stuff.
Right.
But you would think that there would be a level of Noah has already bought into the idea that it doesn't matter what I do here, right? And he talked about that with like the kids, right?
Yeah.
Because I need to stop this from ever having happened. And so the idea then that it's like, yeah, no, a part of that is also you being separated from your daughter, but you're not going to be later, so it doesn't matter. Unless maybe because if Charlotte is the age that she is in the 2020 timeline, and Noah is originally from 1920, right? Then that meant that he then had her as a result of the time travel, and so he would lose her forever if Adam's plan comes to fruition.
Right. Yes.
Right. And so the reason then why... Right. And so that's the manipulation that Adam did because he basically took her away. So he was looking in the wrong points in time. And so then once he realized, oh wait, no.
No,
wait, hang on.
No, it's probably probably a little bit more on the idea that Noah is like, I'm going to make it through all this.
Yeah.
And thus, any one of my descendants would theoretically make it through this.
Right.
But if it's not that case, meaning that his own origins, like Noah's origins particularly, are because of time shenanigans. If Charlotte's mother is because of time shenanigans, then you couldn't have Charlotte.
Sure.
And thus it's the, you cannot have her in the new world.
Because Noah would know if he conceived his daughter while on a time mission.
Right. But if it wasn't that,
or if the mother was someone that he met in regular present time, but she was a time traveler.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And then, she ends up disappearing or getting whisked away.
But it could even be simpler in that it's just that Noah, no, your origins are because of time travel as well. So you aren't actually someone that will make it through this.
Sure. Although I think from the reveal that we got, it didn't seem like Noah was concerned about himself. He's pissed because it's the
no. Again, yes, you're. I believe you're right, but that would still extend to his descendants, to Charlotte.
Sure. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that's adding an unnecessary step that Noah himself is.
Well, again, I'm talking about every conceivable version of this that works. I'm not saying that
all right.
It's necessary. I'm saying that if you look at all the ways it could be that way.
Right. So we don't really need to talk about this then because we agree on the end point is that Charlotte won't exist.
Correct.
And so as a result of that, he's like, what the fuck? Right.
Right. God has promised Noah basically that you would come to a world where you and your family would then be able to go and live in that new world in the bunker or what have you. And it's by the way, actually, no, your family's all a lie. Like,
and so that totally makes sense as far as a betrayal thing. Also, that scene was just fantastic. I love the emotion that was there. I love that, like, the reasons as for why it happens now, I also really like, because if you ever have a thing where, like, you know, a time traveler doesn't reveal a secret that they would be motivated to reveal, then it's like, well, why? And okay, they didn't know someone was keeping it from them, right? Which would be very, very difficult to do for a time traveler, right? It would almost have to be another time traveler that keeps the secret. I love that. I think that's, like, that kind of reveal could very easily have a bunch of questions behind it that make it more difficult for me to immerse myself in the emotion of what's happening. And I didn't have that problem. I thought it was great. And it's going to have a huge impact on, like, multiple different story points, right?
Right. Yeah. And right now, we're poised to go beyond the event horizon. We're going to touch the beyond, whatever that is beyond our fate. Jonas is stepping into that.
Right.
This is in the middle of the fucking season 2. So, all the drama this episode, all of that, who knows where that's going to be in an episode or two.
Sure.
But the point that this episode declared so emphatically is that time is not just cruel. Time has been winning for a long time. Like, I'm being repetitive here, but that I think that given the idea that Adam, we have to believe him on some level that he's telling the truth to Jonas here. The idea that his loophole is because I have a very special gate that breaks the rules, that does all this stuff here.
Right, that I've developed, but I also haven't utilized yet.
Right. Why hasn't he utilized it yet?
And so the reason why I would say that is because he's like, okay, I experienced more or less what Jonas here is about to experience.
Right.
I'm hoping that this time it'll be different, right? With the whole we iterate each time.
Right.
And so he's still doing the part of the puzzle.
But why should it be different?
Why should it be different? Yeah.
There's no reason.
Yeah, once you get the
device,
once you get the device, kind of everything should be fixed. There's the idea that maybe he himself is not able to do it because his old age and his condition and all that stuff, right?
I very much believe that, yes, the reason why he hasn't moved through the portal right now is because he'd probably just die.
And he also,
I follow with that.
You know, he doesn't believe that he himself in his, you know, Palpatine form that he is now would be able to go up to, you know, his father as a complete stranger and be like, hey, don't kill yourself.
Do it.
yeah, exactly, right? Like, it didn't take a crazy noggin to think that maybe there's better ways to do that.
Maybe not.
Especially given that then that might be also, like, cluttering up the rope even more, right?
Sure, because you know, Jonas will exist at this point just being in a different spot, you know. It'll just be...
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I could see it being something of where there's the limiting factor, and so that it's the cool, having the time machine like this and developed in this way is actually, as far as we can tell, pretty new and, like, unique to this iteration through the loop. And so now it's all right, I need to wait for past me to come through here so that I can then send him on the mission. And I specifically can't send any of my peons because I am manipulating them, I am deceiving them in various different things, and I don't want them to know about this stuff and everything in case it doesn't work or whatever.
Sure.
And so, yeah, here you go, Jonas. And yeah, so then the deception or the manipulation would be there was the possibility that this still doesn't work and we haven't figured it out yet. But that'll still hopefully at least bring us closer. That'll be new information, that'll be new whatever, right, that can be added into a notebook or, you know, things like that. And yet this is something that's a plan that he has that doesn't involve the missing pages.
Which
then would make me think that he should know that it won't work.
Then I just want to throw something out there, which means then that this portal is not just an advancement in as far as it being like we can break the 33-year rule because this has nothing to do with the caves or what have you. Like,
sure. And actually, now that I think about it, if you have mobile time machines, great. You go into the future and build the technology there and then bring it back to here.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter when you develop it.
No, right. I'm
all
talking
the
about
future from.
But I'm talking about to get the actual physical machine here that can send to any point.
Oh, well, again, Yes,
you know, 1920s developmental issues, you know. And all
well, again, those are irrelevant because you could be, like you're saying, grabbing them before in the future. What
even
have you.
grabbing people to work on.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. But if you're going to a place where Adam will then have the memories of having attempted it, or at the very least know that that's just a part of the loop when he did it.
Right.
But
it's going to be different.
But it's going to be different this time, I promise. One, he's lying about something, but I guess then it's not necessarily that he's lying about the attempt itself. He's lying about the mechanics of the time travel, which to me then means it's not as clear cut that things actually are going the exact same way.
Well, okay.
And that could mean that there's a part of this where it's yes, it's been however many years since I had this conversation with my future self when I was you and stuff, but I'm actually not saying the exact same words, and you're not saying the exact same words.
Right.
But I can't remember that, so it doesn't.
Sure.
You know.
And you could also have the idea that, like, okay, if the whole closed loop thing and like Ulrich going back and, you know, and then, he's the one who gave Helga the scars and all that stuff, right?
Right.
That has this notion then that, we can't change things. But, no, and he brings this up here. No, we can. It's just, it's not a lot, right? And so we have to iterate on things, we have to build. That then turns this from being something where you're actually doing time travel to being timeline travel, right? Where you're going on to a different timeline.
Right.
And even if it's like you have a loop here, you know, and the loop's going like this, and then you slightly deviate
they've
it,
always
and you
been
have another
deviating.
loop that's right here that's very similar but slightly different, and then you do that again, and then you do that again, and hopefully you'll get to the point where you're doing something different.
Right. But that just means then basically this show has a hidden past that we've never tapped into, and that we probably never will until the show's like over. But that they've been going tick 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 tick, like constantly iterating, constantly changing one thing here, one thing there.
Yeah.
And it's just that's the only thing that makes sense to me because we're so we're so early in terms of like this show that like
and yet
we can't have progress of that scale unless it's undone and or splits and becomes something else.
And yet that gets a bit wonky potentially given the fact that we see the effects of, like, we see Charlotte finding Ulrich's arrest record, right?
Yes.
You know, things like that.
Yeah.
Now, that then would mean if this is how it functions, right, and you can iterate and all that stuff, that technically the Ulrich arrest records and all that stuff is not actually the Ulrich that disappeared.
Well,
it's a different one from a different timeline iteration, where everything might have been basically the same, and from the way that this show is shown to us, it doesn't have to be the exact same.
No, I think you're getting too into the nitty gritty about it.
Okay.
I think the point is that there would be actual total destruction of the previous, because everything is now. You wouldn't have things left over. You would have either nothing or everything. So everything is now, everything's looping, right? But you would have no, like, evidence left over. You would just have, like, a hole somewhere. Like,
I mean, maybe that's what it would be if you went back to the very beginning or you go to the very end, or, you know,
that's my point. But this is our first time where we're getting introduced to effectively a new type of hole. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, that means that at the very least, it's unless he's completely lying to manipulate him and send us completely into the nope, I'm propagating things, I'm setting things up. There's no actual thing you're going to be able to do here. I just want to break you. I just want to set you up so that it's like, you really thought?
Well, right, but then
you believe me, you stupid little kid.
Well, right, and that's what I think is fascinating though about this story is that if you have the villains being the ones that are acting with this kind of agency, but then also with these convictions, even if it's the ends justify the means and all that stuff, that inherently has an interesting kind of progress to it, rather than just Biff goes back in time and makes a bunch of money.
No,
right?
totally.
You know, it's
totally.
like
because their convictions are also their limitations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
so that's where I think the is if he were just doing it to break Jonas, then there would be no point to this. It's just a pointless circle jerk as you realize that time has won and you'll never beat it, right?
No, because it would just be that's not the loophole.
Sure.
No, it would absolutely have meaning. It's just that he's like,
right.
No, I can't guarantee that you'll become me without having moments that shaped me, like that actually shaped me.
Yeah.
And then it's I don't remember how and why those moments came to be, but I know that they happened, so I'm going to make sure.
Right, because the whole idea of that being the beginning, yes, it works because that's what we get at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah.
But from the standpoint of if you are able to actually iterate and stuff, theoretically, any number of things could stop it, because at that point you have you stop Mikhail from getting lost in the caves in the first place, or any number of things, right?
Which then brings up the point of, again, you would have to find a different type of hole, basically, because we're still playing within the cage. You're not actually leaving it. You're just moving around within it.
Right. Well, and maybe then
you're
that's
still playing within time, within this universe, within this,
and
this timeline.
And that's probably the question that Jonas really should have asked him, although I did love how he asked why haven't you just fixed it already? Things like that.
Yeah.
But it really should have been okay, so if you remember having this conversation, then
why didn't I do it?
And maybe that's what he was trying to ask.
Why didn't I save everything?
Maybe that's what he's trying to ask, and hence the whole idea of no, hey, iteration is a thing, right?
But his metaphor of basically bringing up the time machine, that we learned things from others in order to make the time machine better.
Right. It's a microcosm of humans' evolution, but all the people are the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which that makes sense.
I mean, totally. Fucking humans, you can't get anything right.
Right.
Doomed to make the same mistakes over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's thematic and it's powerful. It feels very much in line with the show, and I would say it also feels very much in line with this episode, which is the point I wanted to make, is that Adam, by his nature and what he's presenting, if he's being honest here, seems diametrically opposed to the themes of the show in this episode. In that time is cruel. Time he is more just expositing the obvious based on the evidence that we see in this episode.
Right.
But the thing that he actually yearns for is to combat that, and every single person so far that's combated that has lost, and he's like, but I have the special sauce,
right?
And I'm not using it.
Right.
So
he's sending his soldiers into the ocean to stab it, to kill the god of the ocean or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And it hasn't worked.
Right.
So I think you're full of shit, Noah. I'm Adam.
Yeah. No.
Too many goddamn biblical names.
Right. Exactly.
Mixed up here. I think
Adam is trying to do the Noah thing, but also the Adam thing. Yeah.
Right. I think you're full of shit, Adam.
Okay.
I think you've seen a lot more than you're willing to let on to Jonas.
Yeah. Okay. So was there a specific thought that you were gonna take?
Oh no, I just don't think this is going to be
all right
on the meta level that this is episode 5 of season 2.
Exactly.
But also 2, poor Jonas. He's literally told him, "You will become me," and now you should listen to what I say.
Right.
What?
No, I know. It's all kinds of fucked.
You're at the behest of Palpatine. You're Anakin Skywalker, and you're
yeah. So I want to bring something up.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so thematically, tonally, right? Yeah. Yes, this episode is absolutely brutal. The whole thing of Urek seeing his other kids back in time, and he just says, "Oh, those are my children."
Actually getting to hold Mikhail.
Yeah, actually getting to hold Mikhail, but then also
Mikhail recognizing him.
But then also Mikhail does not say anything.
No.
To confirm it or anything. Once
he's
the
been
people
through
are there,
too much.
He's been through too much. He's like, all right, I'm choosing this, right? And so now Ulrich will fully turn into a madman as he just keeps saying it about other people, and they're like, yep, okay, that's the psycho, right?
Whoa.
Which is wild. But we did officially get Goonie Squad going through time, right? Doing time travel stuff.
Yeah, they're in the 80s.
And so what effectively we have here is we have a member of the Goonies that lost his way. He became a bitter old man, right? And while he still is holding on to that teenage rebellion, fuck you, God and society.
Yeah.
Right? He's lost his way and he needs to be set on the right path again, right?
But that's not this show, dude. That's not this show. That is not this show.
We are currently
We are not watching the same show.
No. Here's why it is. Because Adam has already gone through that, right? And so we then see that. It doesn't need to be foreshadowing. It's literally your future self telling you this is going to happen, right?
And it became who he is.
And then we get to see Jonas in the 2019-2020 time and the future Jonas, right, that we've been seeing, and we get to see the signs of like, when he was talking to Hannah, it's like, oh yeah, I can kind of see Adam in those eyes and stuff. Oh yeah, that's okay. All right, that was pretty intense. Now we're actually going to be following the member of the Goonies as they go through the soul-crushing journey of all that stuff, and then the other people are trying to find them. It's the Fellowship trying to catch up to Frodo. It's like
oh no, I'm getting
there.
that, but that's them catching up to. That's them catching up to, just use the difference here. That's them catching up to Jonas. That's not them catching up to Adam.
Sure.
There's no saving Adam. Adam needs to be abandoned in this whole
absolutely.
world and line and everything.
Yes, 100%.
And we need to jump to the...
100%, yes. We need to pass the 1% divergence barrier.
Yeah.
But because we're only doing slight iterations with the time travel, even in the best of circumstances, right? That means...
If we understand it correctly.
If we understand it correctly,
yeah.
Then that means that Jonas is still going to be following the path of Adam for the most part, right? As we then progress further through the show.
Right.
And so that's still something that can then be combated.
Right. And so the
for
way
someone that we actually want to
No, totally. But the way that you beat him is you take his thing of going to another world or what have you. And you completely remove anything and everything to do with his desire to be masters of time. Because I don't see a man in him that's filled with the emotion of empathy and
he's in his early 80s or something. It's like,
well, totally, but I think in a lot of ways the desire he has to guide himself is closed emotionally. He's basically saying, yeah, you'll get to where I'm at, and look, it's inevitable. It's fate. It is the way it is. But also, if you go through this portal and you listen to what I say, you will have free will and there'll be a choice and it will work. Nah, you're full of shit.
Slight pushback on that.
Yeah.
The reason why I think it does work is that in order to concoct a plan that would be in any way effective to topple some insurmountable problem, right? Or, previously thought insurmountable problem.
Right.
You need to fully acknowledge the problem and get familiar with the ins and outs and all the complications of it and things like that, right?
Absolutely.
And so the idea that time is such a bitch to fight against, right? He would, of course, be very, familiar with that, because otherwise he wouldn't be trying to fight back against it, right?
No, he's fighting back against it before he got jaded.
No, right.
He's fighting back against it. He just doesn't know how. He acknowledges the problem. I don't buy that at all. Jonas absolutely knows what the problem is, but the thing is that he wants to.
No, but I'm saying him having that kind of like perspective on the time travel doesn't mean that he's like given up and he's full of shit about it'll be different this time. It's we're needing to work within the bounds of this dimension in order to escape this dimension,
which is kind of hilarious,
right? It sounds pretty crazy when you talk about it,
right.
And yet if you then are accepting that that's what you're going to be trying to do, then you're going to need to come to terms with all of the problems of the tools that you have within this dimension.
And that's where I don't buy it.
Okay.
Because of Noah. Noah is someone that he's basically already been using for plenty of time, like he seems to be potentially trying to use Jonas here.
Sure.
And all Noah's done is basically just been a dampening effect or a weapon to fight against Claudia.
Right.
And so, in as so far as the goal of Adams is to basically beat time, beat this world, beat this doomed timeline, this doomed sequence of events through a series of loops and what have you. We've iterated. He is basically asking Jonas to trust me, bro. We've made progress thus far, but there is all the stuff that has been done thus far by him and the evidence we see in the 20s here is easily
has only gotten us to here.
Well, right, but it's easily explainable within the bounds of time travel thus far. There's nothing iterative about it. You just have people working on different things at different points in time on the same timeline. There's no evidence or proof that we're from a different necessarily like point.
The
world line.
No, the bootstrap paradox is fundamental to that, right? Because, if you get the information from the future and then where did that information come from in the first place, who cares, right? And so the idea that then you get that information, unless unless it's just, all right, you get that information and it changes nothing, right? Which wouldn't make sense.
Okay, so what you're saying is basically that the show has been telling us all along, by the nature of the amount of bootstrap paradoxes, that it's always been iterating, and Adam knows it must be because of that the event that was the beginning has been so completely lost because we've jumped so many times.
Right, exactly. And that's the biggest problem with having people that are time travel that are in conflict with each other. You need to make peace real quick, otherwise you mess up all your own plans.
Right. But what I'm saying then is what he's saying is that just one more time, bro. Why should one more time be...
Be careful out there. No one wants to see you go hollow.
No. I know, he's gone hollow, but it's the... What evidence does he have that this one will be different? He does not.
Of course
so he's
not.
using Jonas
if he had
to just do it again.
I mean, he didn't necessarily say that this machine is like a new invention and so this will actually, this will fix it.
Well, he did say this one will take you to the exact time you want.
Right.
Which is not possible using our
the
current understanding of the time travel stuff.
Right. And that could be something that he's hoarded and has had for a long time, or it's something he developed recently. He doesn't really have any evidence to show Jonas anyways because it's a time travel conundrum, right? Like, evidence, all right, cool, you grab whatever you want, but then that'd be stuff from within the time travel loop that you're trying to escape. And I'm guessing that a lot of the stuff that he was showing him were different bootstrap paradox things where these are the early, like schematics that were bootstrapped back of the time travel stuff. This is the next one. Oh, hey, it has new stuff, right? We outsourced to the future and it worked,
But I guess then the reason why then this is how I think he's still full of shit is that he's making a point that this is some great big point in time that if we changed this, things would completely stop. But if he's come to this realization that, we've iterated so many times. No. It means that it's never worked. He's attempted this exact thing.
Or that they never had the capability to try and go back to that exact day. Which theoretically...
That's very hard to believe.
Well, the
because
reason...
then they wouldn't be...
No, here's the reason why it could happen. Is because... The fact that he's using this Jonas is not just the fact that it's Jonas. It's that it's Jonas that looks very similar to the Jonas of that time, right?
Yes.
Like, think about it. Like he's like a year and change, a year and a few months
right. It would feel like there's no time travel involved.
Exactly.
From Mikhail's
that just feels like it would feel like Mikhail is just, your son shows up and is like, please don't do it, Dad. Right? Like, that's effectively what he'd get, as opposed to if it was future Jonas or Adam or something like that.
So let's wait until the next episode, because I see where you're going with this, but there's a lot of other things we can definitely talk about in this episode. I wanted to bring up basically just the Mikhail stuff this episode, in that he gets to see his dad.
Great. Yep.
Well, I say
terrible. Yeah,
terrible.
That's probably one of the big things that contributed to him killing himself.
Exactly. Is the idea that, someone who knows who he is and that he's not supposed to be there comes to him by breaking out of a prison.
Yeah, I've been in a psych facility for 33 years, waiting for this day.
And
Not
right.
only did you get separated from your family, but you destroyed your family.
Yeah. Can I keep going with this here?
All right. Yeah.
Does this sound like somebody who's about to jump, thinking they're jumping into freedom? Isn't this exactly what Jonas is about to do?
Wait, what?
Jonas is basically then Ulrich in this case. He's jumping through an impossible barrier to go and see Mikkel at a point that he basically shouldn't be there, and going to basically be like, okay, now go. Like you need to run. You need to get out of here. You need to go. Wait, this episode basically feels like it showed us an example of.
No, but he's not going back to make it so that Mikkel doesn't stay there or whatever. It's just so that Mikkel doesn't hang himself.
Yes,
right.
But how do you convince someone of that's lived this life thus far? You have to do something like dramatic.
That's why it has to be him, right? It's the, hey, Dad, this is scaring me. Can we just talk about this, right? They have some whole conversation thing. He tries to talk him down from the ledge, not as I'm a time traveler thing, not as anything like that, just as a me, your son, from the life that you have here. Please don't do this, right? Like that whole thing.
Okay, so because of this episode, and because of the way they honed in on time being cruel, time being merciless in this regard, the idea that Jonas, who experiences in this episode the loss of innocence, and I really like that they did this after, in terms of the episode's chronology, after Adam has the conversation with Jonas in the episode's length, when he then goes to his mother and realizes, oh, you never loved him.
Yeah.
What we're setting up, in my opinion, and also then having the stuff with Ulrich and Mikkel, is we're setting up all these ways in which people failed Mikkel.
Yes.
We're setting up all the pain and all the anguish, all the suffering that basically led to this crucial decision in this moment.
Right.
Moment that was the opening scene as far as outside of the pictures in the very first episode of the show. And we're like, oh, we're going to change that in season 2, episode 6, or season 2, before this show is over and has like another season and stuff. Obviously, this is meta as fuck to bring up, but I have very little belief that it's going to work, that it's actually going to be capable of actually changing anything.
Right. Whether or not it ends up working, I'm with you. I believe Adam, but Adam doesn't have complete information, and so I could totally see it not working. If they decide to have it work, that could be a really fun way to throw everything into a different spin, right? Michael's still alive, right? And so all of this other stuff happens, then we can see how things change, right? That is totally an avenue that the show could take that would bring a lot of wonderful new entertainment value and all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And if they decide to have a full, hey, the second half of the show is all us trying to untangle this tangled knot and smooth everything out, then great, because I could totally see that being something that would take a lot of time, pun intended.
Yes, I get that. But it wouldn't if Adam's telling the truth. It would just be, it'd be Thanos snapped. It would be just done. It would be over.
Because the whole notion of the iteration with the time loops is that you're not actually changing your own timeline. You're doing a timeline split. And so that's why they're able to bootstrap paradox and stuff, because otherwise the bootstrap paradox wouldn't end up happening in the first place.
Yeah, but then you end up with 10,000 multiverses and stuff, and the whole thing falls apart.
But they're effectively all traversing through the different verses as the time loops happen, right? It's a corkscrew, not a.
But then again,
not a closed loop.
You wouldn't spend time on the narrative in those other verses.
Right. That's why it starts here, right? So you have either it's on the last iteration or it's on the second to last iteration, and then you go into the last one in the show, right? You set up exactly how everything works so that way you can go into it and change things.
Yeah. I feel like this episode for me, I have now hit that fun point, I feel like, in a science fiction show, when the world building, in my opinion, is now not lying to me, but the characters that are giving the world building have lied.
Sure.
And I cannot take now, especially the Emperor Palpatine looking ass telling me this stuff and be like, I trust you. No. He's lying.
Well,
and it's just a question as to what he's lying about.
And if
and
nothing,
why. I can't follow the stuff that you're going for with keeping all of the stuff that he's said with what the show has presented us thus far.
Because again, he also does not have complete information, and so he could absolutely be wrong, even if he is trustworthy.
But why is it that he has to have incomplete information?
Well, I mean, that's probably why the show isn't over yet.
Well, no,
right?
No. Obviously, I'm not talking about he's God, he knows everything. I'm talking about, like, why is it that he's either telling Jonas everything, or he must be telling Jonas everything. Like, why is it that he's, like, if he, like, he's making Jonas ask questions. He's not being like, Jonas, sit down. You have to listen to everything I say.
Well, right, because he's also trying to actually help Jonas grow and adjust and all that stuff, right? Because it doesn't, like, he needs to have himself be, like,
why? Because
if
we're
the
trying to
singular
change
thing is going to fix everything.
Why? Like, that doesn't make sense at all.
In order to properly convince him, basically, of what the situation is, and so that it's the, hey, like that does make things more convincing, right? If you're actually getting the person to go along and with your thought process and, like, hey, what are your thoughts about this? Oh, okay, you bring up that concern, I'll answer that. Because otherwise it's just, you're a sus Emperor Palpatine. You tell me to just turn my brain off and do exactly what you say. I'm not going to do it.
Right. But again, Jonas is the one, like, screaming at him, not just for, like, answers, but also for the, like, help me get back home. Like, help me actually, like, do this here. And so if he's seen the version of things before, this conversation or what have you, that would then put him through the portal and get him to go through there, because that's what all this was.
Sure.
And, here we are. What do you know? He's full of shit. Like, there's too many contradictions in the way that he's bringing this up. He is giving Jonas only what he thinks Jonas needs in order to get what he wants out of this, which has not happened in previous iterations. So I can't rectify in my head these things. They're incongruent.
Right. So here's a reason that I could, me being an Adam apologist, here's a reason that I could see him not telling Jonas everything, is that it's actually really difficult to convince Michael not to hang himself. And so he's basically like, I need you to be genuinely connecting with our father. I have gone back there and tried to stop it, and it didn't work, right? I stopped him from doing it one time. He ended up still killing himself later or something like that, right? And so it's the, I'm not telling you what I said in that moment because I'm trusting that things are different enough that you'll be able to fix it this time.
That makes, oh man. I'm not like
because otherwise it's like, okay, here's what you do.
Why not
what
tap
I saw
into
when
the empathy? Why not tap into the emotion of all this? No, he's like, this is doomed. Human beings live 3 lives where you lose your naivete, you lose your innocence, and then you lose your life. You must go through those 3 things. No, he's sending Jonas towards the path that ends him old enough to where he loses his innocence, that we also see happening in the same episode. That either he's already lost it, or the final nail in the coffin was that even his mother, right before Doomsday, has nothing for him. This is a, no, I've got to do everything myself. I'm just sending myself to end up pushing myself into a position where I will end up losing the innocence that will, set me up to where I'm now actually in the position to do things here. No, and the reason why I haven't done anything yet is because
and maybe
there's things we just don't know yet.
Maybe this gets back to my whole thing of like, okay, if it's you could stop it without stopping Mikhail from hanging himself if you just get Mikhail back to his time after he got taken, right?
Right.
Because eventually it's just, stop that from happening, and then that causes all this other stuff to happen, and Jonas and Adam and future Jonas won't exist, right, in the next iteration or whatever, because you've now broken out of the loop. That's something you could do from theoretically any point in time, especially if you have a time machine that can go to any point in time. It doesn't have to be there, right?
Yeah.
But regardless of whether it's that, like, or something that Adam thinks will happen down the line, either way, it's still something where where he's basically going on the iterative belief. So even if it's the I think that this will get back to where he is the way I am now or whatever, he would still need to believe that it will be different this time, because his whole idea is going on the idea.
I love that this is a very good like back and forth debate here, but I feel like we can just look back at any point in the show where like people tried to do equivalent of these things, like Ulrich trying to go back and kill Helga, and it just, he didn't kill Helga.
Oh yeah, or even just when future Jonas goes to stop our Jonas from talking to Mikhail, because granted he doesn't have full information, although this would be after he talked to Adam.
See, again, there's nothing in the themes of this show, and also I feel like I'm very much operating on a lot of meta, just understanding with where we're at in a series here, that this cannot work.
Okay.
This cannot work.
Yeah, and again,
I understand that this might be the path to where things do work, but it is not going to lead to change here.
And I'm with you there, but I think it's still something where Adam does actually believe this, because even in the case of future Jonas that we see,
that's not what I'm arguing. That's not what I'm arguing.
Okay.
I think that he can believe this. He can be a believer in his own stuff here.
I've said several times now that that's the only thing I'm trying to argue. I think they could have it work if they wanted to, but the main thing is just that I think that we can trust Adam in that he's not trying to deceive Jonas, even if he doesn't have full information.
See, that's where I'm again. We're just miscommunicating.
Okay.
I am saying he believes there's a loophole out there.
Right.
This is not the loophole.
Well, okay. Whether this is the exact time, event or whatever of the loophole, or just the beginning of the loophole, because it's a whole process in order to go through the loophole.
That's what I'm getting at. No, I think it's very important, because then what it means is that he is not telling us something about the mechanics of time travel and the mechanics of this setup here that has now given him this like air of composed confidence. He is reserved. He feels like he is on the right path with everything with fate here, and yet he's sending him into a position that feels, from my perspective, with the limited knowledge I have, impossible. Therefore, that's not the thing that's the key or what have you. It's the path that they're on right now. The overall belief in the path and that it's working. Regardless of the evidence that he has, whatever it is, what he's doing with Jonas is deceptive, is manipulative, is not going to be the exact thing where it changes things. I struggle immensely with that.
Okay.
But I do believe that he believes that there's a loophole, that there's a way. But the actual
and that this is necessary for the loophole.
Yes, but the reasons why there's a loophole and the actual mechanics of how there's a loophole don't line up.
With
things, what he's saying thus far.
Yes, they gave us an explanation for how this could end the loop. I think it's all right. I think the show could theoretically do better. However, if this isn't that, then I feel like they'd really have to pull off some crazy stops in order for it to be something that we can truly track with, and not just some cosmic event happens and then it's all better.
Right. Again, this feels to me like the equivalent of, we send Ulrich back to kill Helga, but this time he has a shotgun,
Right,
it's
stupid.
Exactly. It's stupid in my opinion.
I think that's exactly what you do.
No, because because then you'd literally Jacob, it's not, because then you'd literally have Noah. Why does it have to be Jonas then? Why can't Noah just run around with a shotgun just blowing away key people so that their points in time thing don't happen?
No. Yeah. And quite frankly, well, no, okay,
No, that's my point.
No, the reason why they wouldn't be doing that. Okay, so Noah's operating on.
I think
this is going into
conversation is stupid. Like I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, but I feel like it belittles the show to think that, oh, now on our like second or third time of doing this kind of equivalent of, if you go to this point in time and you do a thing, then it's going to change everything. When the themes of the show point out when people have tried to do that, either a time traveler shows up and is like, don't fucking do that.
Oh, yeah, no.
Or
right.
they get so completely lucky in that Helga survived.
Exactly, or unlucky or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever you want to call it. Basically
right.
that basically time protected him.
Yeah, exactly. Egon once again shows up right as they're at the cave. Right? Not 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So then I can't see this being anything other than a very revelatory, like impactful, emotional moment in Jonas's life as he begs his father.
Oh yeah.
As he begs him to do this. As he begs him to like to be completely like distance from all this, to be like, hey, you have to take the memory of all this stuff that you've been through. You have to learn to live with it.
Every time I go to see,
you have to talk to me. You have to
right. I know that it's and you can't bring up the whole thing of like, yes, right, because I'm dating my aunt, and whenever you then go take, like, whenever there would be like, I don't know, play dates, them growing up or something, he's then seeing his father. Yeah, no, like, it's whack shit. Like, yeah, like that, you know.
Yeah,
but
it's awesome.
I don't think I don't think it's going to work necessarily. I think they could make it work, and that would be fascinating. But you know,
I feel like if it worked, I would lose respect for this show.
Really?
Yes. Like,
that wouldn't just be in a, oh shit, wait, and now what does the show do because it worked? You know?
Yes, I understand that. But I think that with what we know right now,
why couldn't it have been at any other point in time?
Not just that, but there is too much that the show is taking on itself in order to explain something that could have been an accidental part of all these time travelers bouncing around and doing shit.
Sure.
So I completely, the more and more I even think about it, the more ironed I am in my thoughts about this, this is not going to work.
So I got an idea.
Oh my goodness, what is it?
Okay.
Stressing me out, man.
Is that the reason why it has to be this moment is not because any of the other moments couldn't be done, but then you would effectively be on an iteration where some of the bad things have already been done, and then everything else from then on is good. And so that's why...
Really? Like, I'm thinking with you. I'm trying to, like, line up with you, but that does not compute. Like...
Yeah, and maybe this is one of those and maybe this is why whenever time travel shows bring up the whole idea of, like, no, it's a closed loop, you can't change things, you know, in order to get rid of the, like, we lose memory of what happened because time suddenly changed or whatever, is that then it's either really easy to undo or it's ridiculously hard, and then if it's ridiculously hard, what's the reason that it is able to be succeeded?
And this is the show where it's ridiculously hard.
Right.
Come on. Like, that's the whole point of the
you.
town. That's the whole point of the feeling that everybody is trapped. That's the whole reason why we showed people trying to do things and get locked. It locked them literally up in a prison of their own making. It is not just built into the themes. It's overtly shown in the narrative. Like, it hurts me to think that Jonas would take so much of a leap here. Now, this is where I think I understand Jonas's decision here.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a way out of the 20s. So fuck that. I'm getting out of here.
Right.
Great. I love that. I love that you're taking that there. And in some ways, that's where I'm sure Adam is like, no, most of what I say doesn't matter. I'm going to show you a portal and you're going to go through it. Like you're going to take your chance because that's the kind of person that I was. Someone that was willing to try stupid shit, to go out and experiment, and now look at what it's got me.
Oh yeah, also
I have all this power and influence, and I'm stuck in a time alone, away from family, from Martha, from everything that I could ever care about. I've become a shell of a man, and I'm like, I'm gonna burn the world away to give us a potential second chance. Yes, you're a really cool character concept, Adam, and I love the idea that you will spur forth the next or final iteration or what have you, but it's not gonna be through this.
Okay, so here's actually the biggest reason to be sus of Adam, but this could, I would almost give a pass as like a meta reason why this wouldn't happen. We can go to any point we want. So there's no rush to do this time travel as long as you look about the same as you did when, when your father killed himself, right? But there's also a complication because it's not a 33-year increment. So there could be two of you in the same place at once, and it'd be easy to tell that it's two of you, rather than just, oh, who's that older person? So here's a 6-week course that we're going to go on about how to do time travel properly when you can go to whatever point you want. Here are the things you do. Here's the things you don't do. All right, now, are you ready? I'm going to quiz you.
Again, that's my point. His
that would
posture,
not make for engaging television.
No, not make for engaging television, but all you have to assume with that is instead of his posture being like, yes, this is what shall happen, this is what shall do, he's like, oh, my boy, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Even if that's not in him, he could act it, he could channel it, he could bring as much of it to bear, and he seems creepier maybe if he does this, but it's the...
He might,
Yeah, but the point is that he knows if he shows him the portal, he's going to go anyway, but it's the, like...
Right. Oh, yeah.
You need to get this right.
Even if he thinks he's creepy and all that stuff, it's the, hey, I have you here as a hostage until I decide to let you leave. So I'm going to educate you real quick. If you don't like it, whatever, and then, all right, cool.
But no, he doesn't have any of that air. He does nothing about him. He knows what's going to happen. He knows it's not going to work. He knows this is important for the education of his past self. He knows this is something that is going to shape him. Wow. Okay. All right.
We'll see.
That's fun.
We cannot get a short, dark discussion in. My God. It's like,
dark discussion.
I thought for sure this one would be like, all right, it's easy. It's all in the next episode.
Yeah,
There's not going to be much to talk about.
I wanted to talk about the inspector and Katharina and all kinds of other stuff.
Right. Yeah, there was also that.
You know what, y'all? We will do our best to make sure that our debates don't go this long.
Don't go into a
time.
Closed loop.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, but other shows in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So if you have any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.